Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Friday morning trading room. Just a moment. We'll get the screen share going on. Seems like I'm having a little difficulty with some of my data. Can someone confirm to me that I'm not on a delay here? Can someone confirm that we're trading around 77.06? Just make sure that my data is ticking the same as yours. Yeah, okay. Thank you. All right, so here was the NASDAQ from yesterday. It actually looks like it was a fairly bullish day, but this is including the 24 hours of the session. Overall, the market spent most of the day going quite a bit sideways. Volume was down. So we're just kind of drifting here for a little bit. I'm going to assume it's the G20 meetings that are slowing things down here a little bit. Typically on Fridays we do our rabbit hole Friday, but we've been alternating. So we're going to try trading today. If things don't, if we don't get anything interesting, at least in the first half hour, then maybe we'll take a quick look at an indicator. Reminder, next week, no trading room next week. Markets are going to be really thin, especially going into the July 4th holiday. All right, well, right now, those of you who like your first in-sync eagle signal, looks like it printed right here, and not bad on the follow-through department, although we are looking at this little bit of a pullback. The overnight trend seems to be up, but you can see even in the overnight, we're still in a relatively broad trading range. So I'm gonna maybe give the nod here to the buyers, maybe as we drift below the hard edge of the trading band. Okay, maybe not. That number 2 signal had a little bit of giddy up to it. That coincided with the trend change signal here on the Falcon and the first micro macro cross signal here on the Hawk, both of which working out pretty well. Okay, next signal that forms here to the short side will be a number 1 signal to sell. Yeah, Keith says the morning gap is closed on that little bit of a move down. It was a relatively tiny gap, but still. So we're checking out the bottom end of the trading range. Well, of the overnight trading range. All right, so here we've got the, let me get my stops out of the way. So we've got the number one signal forming. All right, we got the number one signal active. Let's see if we get the follow through. Get my stops back down here. Oh, and oh, don't you dare. I think actually this is why Mark started taking profit at 17 ticks instead of 20. Oh, how many times has that happened to me? That's brutal. A couple of ticks late getting in on the number one signal, and they tagged me at break even instead of giving me my profit. Not happy. All right, dare we do this again? I'm a little concerned about possibly the lack of follow through and a test of the extreme happening right now, that the market won't go any lower. All right, let's try it again. Let's get that out of the way. This is a little riskier. I'd feel a little better about shorting actually below the low. You can see the Bollinger's out of sync. Oh, Ray's watching the VWAP. He says the VWAP is way up at 76.96. If we break this high, I may as well cancel the order. There we go. Because this is now a test of the extreme. Right, the extreme price is the low. Here's the retest, the failure. We're likely to drift back to the hard edge, which, hey, look, it's very close to 76.96. All right, let's put that away. Oh. All right, well, I put it away, but they're coming back one more time. This, not quite a number three signal, but it is a continuation signal all the same. I'm gonna look to use the current signal as a second push opportunity. All right, let's see whether we get the bearish follow through here or not. We're checking out the lows. Oh, looks like we may try to trade back here to the median line. Get ready with my exit order, bring it back. Oh, no. No. Yes, stinkers. That's 2 break evens in a row. That's trading. Nuts. Well, the follow through on that move was maybe a little less. Oh, nicely done, Ray. Ray says, scalp the Falcon signal and got $119.40 after commission. Well done. Yeah, I guess the Falcon had a little bit of a late filter signal going on here. Filter out of sync, back into sync, trend line not changing color. The better signal, of course, was the one back here, the trend change signal. Hey, way to go, Ron. Ron says I scalped the Falcon with 4 trades, up $300. Nicely done. That's the way to do it. All right, taking a little bit of a bounce off of the median line. And when we see these little pullbacks, when we see the market make a move and then a pullback, make a move and a pullback, make a move, I'm always interested in how far did the market go, because you can start to see the momentum fading. Big momentum, medium momentum, small momentum. Doesn't mean the market cannot go lower from here. Just means that we're probably going to enter a bit of a sideways phase. Now, having seen a little bit of a move lower out of the open, you could place your just in case order to short down below those lows. That would be an acceptable trade. And you're just going to let the market bounce around here a little bit. And if it heads lower, then you will short it. So it's really the most basic of continuation signals. All right, let's see. This could qualify as a number 3 signal. We didn't actually, oh, I better get my stop loss going here before I talk too much. Okay, so it didn't quite tag the hard edge, but close enough, you know, visually perhaps a number 3. Gonna get ready now here with the stops. We get about, oh, they're hesitating a bit. All right, there we go. We're 3/4 of the way there, and oh, they finally gave me one. Whew. Wow, that was a bit of a struggle today. Goes to trend, though. Goes to show you how important trend is. Even if you just suspect that the market is trending higher or lower, it's so important to stay with the trend as much as you possibly can. That was a lesson that I supposedly learned early on when I was trading, and I kept trying to take these counter trend trades that looked so inviting. I convinced myself the market could not possibly go higher or lower. I think it was in gold at the time. I lost a bucket of money. Oh man, did I lose a lot of money doing that. I knew just enough to be dangerous. And fortunately, I finally convinced myself that staying with the trend is the most important thing I can do. Although from time to time, you will still see me do those silly little counter trend attempts. Okay, so in actual fact, I've done my 3 trades today, haven't I? I've had 2 break-even trades, 1 profitable trade. My trading day would be done, and we're only about a half an hour into the day. This is how your trading should go. Remember, if you can make money on 1 contract, you can make money on 10 contracts when you eventually get to the point that you can afford 10 contracts. All right, it definitely appears as though we have a trend in play now, which means our best opportunity to enter is probably going to be on a pullback. We're still getting these follow-up signals, and they're valid. There's nothing wrong with this signal. It's formed away from the trend line on the Falcon here, so you should anticipate the market to pull back. The problem, however, is where do I place my stop? I can't put it here. I could maybe get away with putting it where the trend line crests, maybe. Hope that the the new trend is really strong and there's not going to be too much of a pullback. But realistically, if I go 2 swings back, well, this whole zone is kind of swing 1. I suppose you could do swing 2 there. That would be safe to start. Remember, just because your stop begins back here doesn't mean it needs to stay back here. So let's say I used it here at the trend line crest. You can see why, or you'll see here in a moment, why we don't use that first swing, which would have placed us right about there. The market does have a tendency to retest the first swing. Maybe break it by a tick or two. All right, we'll put that away. Okay, a little bit of a pushback. Okay, we've got a little bit of a pushback now. We're kind of challenging this little swing high that we see here. I wonder, are we going to see a big pullback? Maybe here to the 76.85 area. That would kind of put us near the bottom end of this teeny tiny trading range we had. That would be a major retest for such a small range. But if nothing else, it's the beginning of the pullback we're anticipating. Does not necessarily mean I want to try to buy it, although depending how aggressive you want to be with your counter trend, here we're going to get a number 3 signal. If the number 3 signal fails, we will come back with a number 2 signal. You can see here the Falcon already becoming bullish on that trend change opportunity. Now remember, this is counter trend. We're kind of asking for it. But if we were looking for a quick little move higher, this might be it if they can hold on here, the buyers. So we've got the trend change going on. The Bollingers are in sync. That's interesting. I know they're going to burn me here on the counter trend. And if it goes any lower, I won't need to worry about it. Well, there we go. We've spoiled the, pardon me, the trend change signal. Okay, we're looking at what might be a bigger test of the extreme. The extreme being this low down here off the primary support. Looking for a possible number 2 signal. Oh, Eric, you're asking for it. All right, there's the number 2. Okay, well, stops need to go below the low. That's a given. And in fact, I'm just going to get these a little bit out of the way. The Bollinger Suite here, very neutral right now. And there's a very good chance I'm going to get stuck here in a wandering market as I look for a retest here of the hard edge. Yeah, things not looking so promising right now, but I would rather see them fade away toward the lows than bring me in on the high if there's no momentum there. All right, here we go with yet another number 2 signal. You'll notice they're not printing as number 2 signals. It's because we're a little bit too far removed from this low as a retest, but that is what is happening. We're watching the market trying to head lower. It can't head lower, so it produces a buy signal. That is what constitutes a number 2. A better retest of this low and a failure would be ideal. Just a little bit of a tick lower, maybe another bounce off the primary support. That would, if that move failed, then I'm fairly confident we're going to see a move back to the hard edge. But right now, I'm not sure we could be more neutral. And I suppose, given that the trend is down, I could leave my exit order down here, be my just in case order to sell. So I have the market in a little bit of a sideways pattern. Okay, there's the retest. Oh, don't tag it by a tick. All right, we're getting a little bit of a pushback. That's good because that makes this entry that much stronger. Okay, there, now we're getting another number 2 signal. I'm not going to tighten the order, I don't think. And it looks like we're going to get filled here. Okay, we got filled to the long side. There should be some follow through now. We saw the sellers try to recover the market, take it lower again. They could not. They were selling here, here. So they were selling here. Well, they sold back here. Sold more here, and here. They're trying to sell more here. Somewhere through here, they need to give up and allow the buyers to take the market back here to the hard edge. Bollingers are in sync again. That's good. Come on, you stinkers. Get up there. All right. Sometimes it helps to push it with the mouse. Come on, get up there. Get going. There you go. Get going. See? Give it another little push. Come on. They're trying. Come on. We need this push to go higher. If we can get a couple of bullish bars back to back, I'm going to take a chance and roll my stops. Wow, have we really lost all our momentum already? All right, there we go. A couple of bull bars. I'm going to take a chance here. And, all right, I'll at least reduce my risk. The better stop still below here, but my concern is that the trend is going to try to take me back toward the hard edge here. Yeah, I think that's just the lack of follow through. And it just shows you why you don't want to be trading more than your trade quota as well. Because especially on a day like today where the market seems to have lost its momentum, I'll put my just in case order to sell here again on the trend side. But here where it looks like the market has lost its momentum, you just don't want to go back and take another trade and another trade, because eventually as you know, one of them is going to turn out to be a bit of a stinker. well, I've got my just in case order to the short. Oh yeah, see, they did come back just enough to take me out. And now they're going to head higher to the hard edge. All right, let's put that away. I guess I was a tad impatient with that. Well, I'm not going to call this a trend change, but maybe a little bit of a pullback, maybe some profit taking. The eagle back here now in the hard edge. And you could even draw a little bit of a pullback trend line if you like. Okay, here we go. We're going to get ourselves a green bar sell signal off the hard edge. See if the sellers try to recover the trend at this point or not. Okay, going to get a second push opportunity now on this green bar sell. So I'm using the reaction bar as my signal bar. I want to enter below this bar. Well, again, the lack of momentum here is a little bit of a concern. Okay. Anytime now. This might be asking a lot for a full retrace here to the bottom end. That is the Eagle's target. Well, if we don't get a move here soon, I think we're going to close up shop, call it a day. Reminder, I know I said it earlier, but for those of you who came into the room late, no trading room next week. We're going to take the week off because of the July 4th holiday. actually looks like we're going to try to maybe push higher, but the trend is down, so I'm going to try to stay with the trend. All right, well, this is going to develop into a rule of three type scenario. We've got two counter trend signals, but we don't have a good test of the extreme yet. Remember, we do need that test of the extreme before any counter trend attempt. Well, our trading band's starting to drift a little bit sideways here. Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Jeff extending his good wishes for next week. We're just going to hang with them here for a little bit longer, see if we do get this hard edge bounce signal. If we don't get the hard edge bounce signal, then the market is very likely just going to drift back into a sideways trading range, or maybe a smaller sideways trading range. Let's see, we're retesting now the breakout previously. I do believe we're going to get one more push lower, but okay. I'm just anticipating where the signal is going to print. It looks like it's probably going to print on this bar, but I do have that little trend line to contend with. I can adjust my entry accordingly. There it is. All right, I'll bring my entry up a little bit. Okay, so I'm in at 73, and I'm going to look to try to get 63. Which may be asking too much. I should probably go just with my swing target. Just look for my 5 points, which would give me a pretty decent retest of the extreme here. The extreme being the slowdown here. Almost 3/4 of the way to the profit target. There we go. Roll the trade to break even, and oh, don't you dare flinch again. Oh, wow, they had me going there for a moment. All right, gang. I know it's a little bit early, but honestly, I don't think we're going to be missing out on a whole lot here today. So why don't we call it a day and enjoy your Independence Day festivities next week. Enjoy the downtime, and I will see you the week after. We'll talk to you then. Bye for now.